Today is a conversation that I've been waiting to have because it was like she went into my brain and took my deepest, darkest secrets and was like, let's make it into action. We have best-selling author, certified mental health coach, and entrepreneur extraordinaire, Jane of all trades, Miss Tamela Todd. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great because now, like I said earlier, been very excited for this because two of my favorite things, I love a good book and I love a good glass of wine.
Yes.
Even a mocktail or two, because I know that you have those too.
Yes.
So tell me what the inspiration behind Sip and Read is, because it's such a unique situation. So I want you to explain what Sip and Read is for everyone.
Yes, Sip and Read is a bookstore and bar. So my inspiration behind that is because I am an avid reader and I am an author and I'm always sipping something when I'm reading.
As you should.
But my favorite is wine. So you're either sipping, even water. So you're sipping something. And I just wanted to put my two loves together. That was very important to me. And then I wanted to put my two loves together in my home state.
Would you consider this a third space? Like, I know a lot of times people consider libraries third spaces. Would you consider Sip and Read a third space for you?
Yes, Sip and Read is a third space because it's not a co-working space.
Right.
And you're not at home. You're not in the office. And a lot of people don't like clubs. So, I wanted to have where you still have a relaxing feel. You still can hear some mellow music, and you can still order yourself a drink and meet your friend or meet somebody new, have a book club, or just come in and pick up a book and sip.
I love that because when I first heard about Sip and Read coming, I thought that was essentially what it was going to be, where I'm not a club girl. I don't want to be out past 10 o'clock. I need to be in the house by 10.
Yes.
But I wanted somewhere where I felt comfortable to bring a plethora of friends because no one person just has one friend group.
Right.
They have a mixture, and you want to be able to bring all of your friends to one place, feel like you had a good time, and then get back home.
Yes.
So I'm glad that is the vision behind it, because that's kind of what I thought it was.
Yes. You can come to us before your dinner reservation, or you can come to us after, and that's why I close at 9 p.m.
I love that. So as a lifelong Detroiter, also you mentioned that you were a public author. How does your personal story shape into the now story of Sip and Read?
Yes. Reading for me was therapeutic. So after going through different things in my life, that was like my outlet, and it helped me. It helped foster the way that I wanted to see new ideas, see new things, because reading takes you on a journey.
Right.
You have to get visual with the reading. So with that, and then my love for, like I said, sipping something. I'm also a coffee person too. I just was like, no, I said this love here, I had to expand it. I had to actually see it through.
I love that.
Yeah.
And as a reader, I'm going to ask you, what's that book or book series that sparked the love? We all have one.
Oh, goodness. I have a lot of different book series I love. But like, I'll say Terry McMillan.
She's a classic. I used to try to steal my mama's books from her
Yes.
when I was way too young to be reading Terry.
Yes, Terry McMillan. Her series really sparks that for me.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, Sip and Read is also a bookstore.
Yes.
So how do you go about selecting your books? Because based off of what I've been seeing, it's very heavily curated for the atmosphere that you're going for. So what is in the forefront of your mind when you're thinking the selection of books that you want for the public?
Always listen to my customers' feedback. And then by me being a reader myself, so you can always follow BookTok.
Yes.
You're going to get plenty of recommendations with BookTok. So I try to carry some old series and along with the newer series, and then also the new releases. And that way I come out with a curated list that fits everybody. Because someone could be looking for older books, classic books, and banned books. I carry those too. So I have a section for wine books, banned books. I have a section for new releases. And then we have, of course, our fantasy and our crime and all, to touch on everybody.
Right, because you never know. Someone might want to switch genres, or this is their first introduction to books, because I think that this is the best way to do it.
Yes.
Because some people may think libraries are a little too intimidating because there's just so much resources that you can get there, where I feel like this is a good stepping stone into it. Not only are you getting that intimate community aspect, but you're also getting the books curated just for you too.
Yes, and then I try my best, like you say, with a library and some books, big box bookstores. There's so many books. So what we do focus on is not stuffing the shelves with so many selections.
Right.
I turn them over so often.
I was about to ask you,
Yeah.
like, how often
Yeah.
you make changes and how people are able to communicate the feedback with you. Is there like an online portal, or do they just come to you and you just have conversation?
I have a bookseller
Okay.
that works there, and she does one-on-one feedback with the customers, and that's usually how we get our feedback.
Speaking of that, I noticed when you were doing the hiring for jobs, I loved how specific the jobs were.
Yes.
Why was a bookseller and also a wine connoisseur? I believe that I'm saying the job title wrong, but why were you so intentional on making sure that there was both niches met?
Booksellers know about books. You have to be able to know about books, and my bookseller is on top of it. She knows the books like the back of her hand. So I needed that support system. Wine, I need you to love wine and be educated about wine in order to educate others.
Right.
So that was the top things.
And would you say that you're a mix of both, or
Yes.
do you just tend to lean to your booksellers and the people that you've hired for their jobs?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I lean
like
to
that.
both, yes.
It's a little bit of you in this too. I know that typically with entrepreneurs and business owners, you want to ingrain as much as yourself into it, but it does seem like this is your baby
Yes.
personified, like your heart outside of your sleeve.
Yes, it is. This is my new baby, especially since all my children now are adults.
So like this is probably the best time to be able to
Yes.
have your own business that way.
Yes, it is. I think I waited for the perfect time.
And with this signature rosé, I had to bring this up because as a rosé drinker, I'm ready to come. Literally, my mom is in town, and I was waiting for her to come in town so I can take her here so I can try this rosé. Please tell me about Library of Rosé, please. What is the vibes that you went to curate your own signature rosé?
Well, I wanted to stick with a Michigan brand. I only serve Michigan wines.
Yes.
You hear about people saying other regions, other countries, but we have a lot of wines here in Michigan, especially Paw Paw, Michigan, Traverse City, Michigan. I also sit on the Michigan Wine Collaborative board member.
What you do?
So you have to do your research with wines. And I was like, no, we're only going to carry Michigan wines because we have a lot of beautiful blends here. So that's where I started at, to get the education that way. And then I was like, well, I did cater more to the ladies. What do the ladies like? And they love rosé. But it had to have a literary theme. So that's where the Library of Rosé came into play.
You chose a great one. I mean, you can't go wrong with rosé.
Yes, that's
it just
right.
feels like a little bit more elegant.
And
than
it
the
goes with
others,
love
you know?
stories.
Right. There's a romantic
yes.
vibe to it too.
Yes. So I paired, and we do a lot of book wine pairing. So I said, well, what books would pair with this? So I had to go old school. I went with the Notebook.
Ooh.
Love and Basketball, the movie, because when you look on the back of the brand, it says read, repeat, or press play.
Yes.
So if you're watching movies, you're watching Netflix, all those things, you can drink Library Rosé. And now I'm telling people you can buy it for to watch Ruth and Boaz on Netflix.
And that's a good one I was going to mention.
Yes.
That's a good one for a good glass of rosé.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Again, I've been mentioning this throughout the interview, but just hearing you talk about everything, you're just so intentional about every aspect. What has been the most fun part about this journey so far?
Oh, the fun part. Hearing the feedback. Hearing how I motivated other people. When I'm really not looking at that, when I set my mind on a project, and this is just me personally, I have tunnel vision. So I'm really not paying attention to how people are watching. I'm looking for the execute of the project.
Right.
And just hearing the feedback of how people been watching me since when I first announced it, when I first started it, I appreciate that. And I mean sincerely, I appreciate all feedback, good and bad, because it helps me get better. So constructive criticism is a plus. And then also just people saying, you're encouraging me to write my book, because I wrote my first book in 2018.
Yeah.
So me encouraging someone else to put pen to paper, that's amazing to me.
I love that. I mean, just from the TikTok community alone, because
Yeah.
that's where I first heard about Sip
Yes.
and Read. They go real hard for you, girl.
Yes, they do.
They
Yes.
were ready for this to be open.
Yes.
So I can only imagine how much love and feedback you've been getting so far, and not only just what you've created, but the representation of it. I mean, from everything that you do that we mentioned earlier, you are holding space in so many avenues. So how are you able to handle all of that on your plate, girl?
That's why I had to have a team.
True.
You can't grow without a team. You can't scale without a team, and I think that's where a lot of people get confused of want to do everything yourself. You have to delegate and you got to fall back
Right.
because Tam have to get her sleep.
That's what I was about to ask. I'm like, girl, when do you?
I sleep. Trust me, I sleep because I delegate to my team.
That's good,
Yeah.
though. And clearly it's showing in the excitement and just the overall aesthetic and everything that has gone forward with the project and with this business, because not only is it just a good business as a whole, when you walk into that space, it's beautiful from
Thank
what I'm
you.
seeing. Like,
Thank you.
I'm excited to just experience it live in effect now. But why were you so intentional of making sure the space also felt cozy?
Because I wanted to be your living room away from home. So, like, when I grew up, it was like, don't go in the living room. What is the living room you could sit in? You know, our parents was like, don't go in the living room, don't do
There's
this.
plastic
this,
on the
yeah.
furniture.
So, Sip and Read is the living room that you can sit in. I was intentional about the location, too, because it's Corktown. You pop in your cork. So I looked at a lot of locations. I was like, this is not it, this not it. But when I reached Corktown, that was it. That was home for me.
See, now I didn't want to be corny and cheesy because I thought that it was just, okay, maybe she did that like on purpose.
Yes.
Maybe she didn't, but I love that. And I'm guessing it wasn't just like you went about, okay, Corktown. It just fell into your lap.
Yeah, it fell into my lap because I was introduced to the owner. So it all fell into my lap.
Well, how serendipitous, because where else could you be but
Yeah.
Corktown?
That's right. Yes.
And with it being obviously so heavily influenced with Detroit in mind and Michigan in mind, how do you want the ideal outside visitor to experience? Like, what do you want them to leave with when they come in? Because obviously this will be hopefully their first time under an idea of what Michigan has to offer. So
Yeah.
what would the outside visitor want to, or how would you want them to see and leave with?
I want the outside out-of-towner visitor to feel like I went to this cozy spot in Detroit and go back and tell everybody about it.
That's all right.
That they were able to relax because I'm big on relaxing, like I mentioned, my sleep.
Right.
And I think we all have such busy lives now, we don't know how to pull back. So that was my motive also. So that's the mental health aspect of it that I'm like, no, you got to pull back, you got to relax.
So literally every aspect of who you are is in this.
Yes.
Because you just mentioned how you being a mental health advocate also is a part of this too.
Yes.
I love that. It just feels like everything's just so full circle in this one project that you have. Obviously there's other things, but you're able to just curate everything into one space
Yep.
for you.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. So off camera, we were talking about book club.
Yes.
Are there any opportunities that you would love to see come to fruition, whether that's with local schools or different entities outside of Michigan? Like, what are you thinking curation-wise?
Curation-wise, well, we will be launching our book club this month. Cheers and Chapters, that's what it's going to be called.
You're so good at these names.
So, and then we're also going to be doing wine education. We'll be launching that this month too.
Meaning that I can learn about wine?
You can learn about wine, and we're going to do it very intimate. It won't be a full class. We're going to do 8 people. So it'll be an 8-week course, and you will get a certification for it.
Hold on now. See, this feels like this was also meant for me too, because I just happened to be in South of France this past week. And
yes.
I was in a winery and I was like, y'all, I really just want to learn.
Yes.
Like every time that they were telling me how much sugar it takes to make alcohol and like the different variations of how long you have to keep things into the barrels
Yes.
compared to other wines, like that interested me. So essentially that class would be that, or is it a little bit different?
No, it will be that. Yes, and you will receive a book You will have homework because it's important to teach our community about wine.
Yeah.
Instead of just coming in drinking a glass. You know, I want you to be able to pair your wines when you go out to eat. So I want to educate as much as possible. I just got back from Napa myself. So I went there to get more information about this wine education class that we're putting together. So it's just important. That part is what I want to do for the community.
That's incredible.
Even how you hold your glass. You can't hold your glass at the
Exactly.
because you're heating your wine up.
I knew that you shouldn't do that, but I didn't know the science behind it.
Yes.
Oh, you're educated, Miss Ma'am. I like that. Especially with the fact that there are so few Black sommeliers.
Yes.
So the fact that you are educating just the average Joe about wine is incredible, Tamela.
Yes.
Okay. I got one more question for you. And I feel like you've kind of touched on what your idea of success is, but what does success look like for you, not financially, but more so what you want Detroit to think about you, what you want the greater world to think about you, what you want the wine industry to think of you? What does that level of success look like for you?
I will just say with success in general, I really just want people to focus on the fact that whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You just have to focus.
Right.
You know, block out the noise because you're going to get the distractions. And a lot of the distractions come from personal people in your circle. But you have to pull back from that in order to execute the ideal that you want. So that's what success looks like to me. And that's what I always recommend for everybody else.
I love that. And I bet you all those people who may have not said the best are looking at you a lot different now, girl.
Oh, for sure.
No, we didn't mention the address just for people who are in Metro Detroit and everybody else who will see this who's going to take a trip from outside the state.
Yes.
Let them know where they can find you, address, social media, because we need to make sure that we're tapped into those book clubs and the wine education class, because I'm going to be there.
Okay. We are at 1620 Michigan Avenue, Suite 122. We're right off of Michigan and Trumbull. And our website is sipandread.net. And our social is, Instagram is sipn, the letter N, read, book bar.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
And if you don't have a glass in your hand, head over to Sip and Read right now.
Please, we'll welcome you.